Good morning, Year 4. This is Tuesday's Maths, and today we are learning to understand hours in a day. So we know that time is a unit that can be measured, and it can be measured in lots of different ways, in lots of different units. So years, months, weeks, days, hours, minutes, and seconds. One way we can measure time is with a clock. So we use seconds, minutes, and hours to measure time on a clock. And here you can see we've got the smaller hand is the hour hand. The longer hand that is dark is the minute hand. And then the thinner hand is the second hand. So which of these hands takes the most time to go around the whole way around the clock? That will be the hour hand, because the hour hand has to go through 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and back to 10 o'clock. And that has to go around twice a day. And which hand takes the least amount of time? That's the second hand. The second hand has to pass through all these 60 intervals, and that takes 1 minute. So that is quicker than the hour hand, which takes 12 hours to get all the way around. So we know there are 24 hours in a day. We have the morning, which we call AM. Once we get to 12 o'clock, that's midday when you have your lunch. Then we go into the evening and night time, the PM, and then all the way up to 12 AM, which is midnight when you're sleeping. So let's count the 1 hour intervals together. How many can you count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the hour hand travels around the clock twice in one day. This means that there are 24 hours in one day. 12 hours add 12 hours equals 24 hours. So you might have heard the word AM and PM. So AM refers to the morning until midday and PM until midnight. So pause the video and have a think. Which of these times comes first? So the morning comes first. Pause the video again. Which of these times comes last? The evening. So we have the morning until midday, then it's the afternoon, and then into the evening. So let's have a little look in more detail about hours in the day. Remember, one day is 24 hours. So here's a clock. We can see the hour hand, the smaller hand is pointing to the 9, and the longer hand is pointing to the 12. That means it's 9 o'clock. So what time will it be in 1 hour? Have a look at A, B, and C. So A, the hour hand is pointing to the 8, and the longer hand is pointing to 12. So this is 8 o'clock. Here, the smaller hand is pointing to 12, and the big hand is pointing to 10. So it's actually 10 minutes to 12 o'clock. And here, the hour hand is pointing to 10, and the larger hand is pointing to 12, so it's 10 o'clock. So what is 1 hour after 9 o'clock? 1 after 9 is 10, so 10 o'clock. C is the answer. We've got 9 o'clock again. We're looking for what it will be 2 hours after 9 o'clock. So you've got your 3 options here. The small hand's pointing to 11 and the big hand's pointing to 12, so it's 11 o'clock. Here the big hand is pointing to 12 and the little hand is pointing to 10, so it's 10 o'clock. And here the small hand is pointing to 12 and the big hand is pointing to 5, so it's 5 minutes to 12. If we go back to 9 o'clock and we count forward in 2 hour chunks, so 9, 10, 11, we're looking for 11 o'clock. So that's clock number A. Okay, so which numbers can be used to correctly complete the sentence? There are hours in half a day. How many hours are there in half a day? Pause the video and have a think. So your options are 6, 12, 18, and 24. Pause the video again and think which one goes in the gap. So we know there are 24 hours in one day. To calculate half a day, we must half the day. So we half 24, we divide it by 2. Now we can split that up if I'm not quite sure how to do that. So we can partition our number 20 and 4. So 20 divided by 2, 20 and half is 10. And 4 divided by 2, so 4 and half is 2. So 10 Add 2 equals 12. The answer is 12. Which number can be used correctly to complete this sentence? There are hours in 3 days. Is it 24, 48, 72, 96? So we know in one day there are 24 hours. So how many hours are there in 3 days? Pause the video and have a think. Okay, so one day is 24 hours. So we need to calculate 24 times by 3 days. Now we can do that mentally. We can partition up 24 into 20 and 4. So I know that 2 times 3 is 6. So 20 times 3 will be 60. So 20 times 3 is 60. Then we partition using the other partitioned part. So 4 times 3 is 12. So 60 add 12 is 72. Can you now match the statements to the correct number? So how many days are in 48 hours? How many hours are there in 10 days? And how many hours are there in 4 days? Let's have a think. So days in 48 hours. I know one day is 24 hours. If I double 24, I get to 48. So the first answer is 2. Hours in 10 days. Now in one day, I know there are 24 hours. To find out how many hours there are in 10 days, I need to multiply 24 by 10. So that answer is 240. And then hours in 4 days. Now going back to the first question, we know that one day is 24 hours. If I keep adding 24 and 24 and 24 and 24, so 4 times, I get 96. Let's have a look at another question. Year 4 are discussing time. If I wake up at 6:30 in the morning and I go to sleep at 7:30 at night, I am asleep longer than I am awake. Do you agree with Anna? Pause the video and have a think. You can talk it through with an adult in the room with you. Let's have a look. So Anna is awake for 13 hours and she's asleep for 11 hours. So Anna is awake longer than she sleeps by 2 hours. Because if we start counting from 6:30 all the way through to 7:30, that's 13 hours. So that means out of a 24-hour day, she only has 11 hours left. So that's how long she's asleep for. Okay, year 3 are discussing the Twinkle sports clubs they attend on a Saturday. Adam says, my club is 1 hour and 15 minutes long and starts after midday. Billy says, my club ends before midday and lasts over an hour. And Carla says, my club is 1 hour long and starts in the morning. So, which club do they attend? Pause the video and have a think. So, Adam must go swimming because it is after midday and it is 1 hour and 15 minutes. So swimming is after midday, so 1 o'clock is a good time, and it's 1 hour and 15 minutes long, whereas football is only 1 hour long, so he must go swimming. Billy plays golf because it ends before midday, 11:45, and it lasts over an hour. Carla must play basketball because it's in the morning and it's 1 hour. Over to you now. Have a go at the worksheets and see if you can demonstrate your knowledge of hours. Remember, send us a picture when you're done.